In 2009, I had a failed suicide attempt. Didn't plan it out very well, just was something I did. Pressure was too much. My coping skills were at an end. And just something happened that was just over the top. It didn't take much, but it was just over the top. And that day I decided to end my life. I just didn't think it through very well how to go about it. I did what I could do. I used what I had on hand, and that was the moment I almost became one of the 22. Well, my way to resolve my failed suicide attempt was to make a better plan. I didn't want to screw up again. I'd screwed up enough in my life to that point. I didn't want to screw up again. So I made out a very detailed plan. I have the method. I have the how, the where. It's just a matter of the time. And that's what I wrestled with every morning. It became part of my daily routine, like having a cup of coffee, reading the morning news. I'd stand in the shower every morning and lean my head against the wall and not know if I could make it through another day. I'm a husband. My wife's a wonderful woman. I have 4 children who are adults now. I have 3 grandchildren. It just wasn't enough to overcome my demons. So fast forward through several months of battle buddies working with me and being very patient with me and kind and supportive, I was matched up with Flame. Going through the training with her and seeing her every day of my life, getting up, going out to the facility to work with her. I didn't realize how much of a blessing she was, how much difference she made in my life, until one day I was standing in the shower and I started to have my thoughts of suicide. Now at that time I didn't realize it had been several days since I'd had those thoughts. That came to me later. But I was standing in the shower and she was home with me. And she started whimpering and sticking her head in the shower. And she got my attention. And I asked her what was wrong, what was up. And next thing I knew, I was petting her and talking to her, and I wasn't thinking about suicide anymore. And that's what Flame's done for me. She helps me get out of my head when I need to. She helps ground me in the now. I don't know how she does it. She's a very obedient dog. She's been very well trained. She's very cooperative. She's a wonderful companion. But beyond that, she seems to be able to sense when I'm getting spun up. She can sense when I'm getting agitated, even before I voice it, even before I realize it myself sometimes. If I'm sitting on the couch or on my chair at home and I start getting wound up, she'll come and put her head on my lap. Or she'll whimper at me, or she'll climb on the couch up next to me and lick my face. If I'm in the car in traffic and start to get spun up, because Lord knows we all get spun up a little bit in traffic, she'll lean forward and she'll, from the back seat, she always rides in the back, and she leans forward and lick my ear, or put her nose on my shoulder, and it just breaks that cycle of self-destructive thoughts, gets me out of my head and into the now and what's important, which is making sure she's okay. In ways that are untrained and non-teachable, she is teaching me to stay in the now, to stay in the moment, and relieving me of those pressures of having to think about what comes next. And that's the biggest thing she's done for me.